This is KGW News at Sunrise.
This morning on Sunrise, a week after getting a visit from President Biden, gubernatorial candidate Tina Kotek got another big name endorsement this weekend. Senator Elizabeth Warren's plea to voters as we get closer to November's election. And while business owners are finding ways to fill positions in the middle of a labor shortage, the lack of workers is still a huge issue. What a new study says is to blame and how it says we can fix it. Good morning. Thank you so much for getting up with us on this Sunday. I'm Christine Pitawanich filling in for Tim Gordon. Let's take a quick look outside this morning at Timberline. Look at that snow on the ground. Finally, right? Let's get to Daisy Caballero with the forecast.
Yeah, we can thank the beautiful rain for clearing out our air quality right now. We have been good for the majority of our state for the last 48 hours. Again, all thanks to that rain. And taking a really quick look, a week at a glance, our high today is going to be 60 for tomorrow as well. Tuesday and Monday, we're expecting to see some more showers in our forecast. Back to you.
Good to know. Okay, so with Election Day a little over 2 weeks away now, candidates are really pushing their platforms and working hard to win over voters in this final stretch. Part of that strategy includes appearances and endorsements by big-name politicians. That is especially true in the race for Oregon governor. Alma McCarty was at last night's campaign event.
A week after President Biden visited the Rose City to campaign for Tina Kotek, now Senator Elizabeth Warren made an appearance here at the Wonder Ballroom in Northeast Portland. She emphasized what's at stake for Oregonians in this election.
Hello, Team Tina!
Crowds at a rally for Tina Kotek chanted and cheered
I'm with Tina.
as the senator from Massachusetts took the stage to make a final plea to voters.
I didn't come here because I believe this is a safe seat. I came here because Oregon is dangerously close to flipping red, and we have 17 election days to keep that from happening.
If this were a head-to-head, Tina would be ahead by about a zillion points. She's the one who fights for our democracy. Everybody gets the right to vote and to get that vote counted.
Ahead of Saturday's rally, Kotek supporters voiced real concern with Election Day right around the corner.
I feel like we're at a really critical time, and it's been very easy as Oregonians to assume that we have a blue state.
I'm worried about Oregon turning red, and simply because Betsy Johnson is running.
During the final debate earlier this week, unaffiliated candidate Betsy Johnson asserted she would not drop out and doesn't consider herself a spoiler, even making a jab at her opponents about bringing in big names.
They're flying in celebrities to help boost their bases. They're spending $1 million a week on ads, and so the celebrities come in, have an ice cream, and go home. My question in this is, where are the Oregonians?
With recent polling showing Christine Drazen and Kotek neck and neck for the lead, the Republican candidate for governor held a rally in Aurora earlier this week with Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin.
The winning team is the winning team. We get to make the decisions. We get to veto bills. We get to make appointments. We must have Christine Drazen in the governor's office. Full stop.
Despite the hard race ahead, the candidates hope their final pitches and calls to action can make a difference in the last couple of weeks.
We don't have to become a right-wing state to fix our problems.
Yes.
And I'm working really hard to work with everyone in our state to make sure we can move forward.
In Northeast Portland, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
And remember, Election Day is Tuesday, November 8th. If you missed KGW and the Oregonians' final debate in the race for Oregon governor, well, we're giving you another chance to catch it. Tina Kotek, Christine Drazen, and Betsy Johnson debated topics like homelessness, abortion, and crime. Recent polls show this is one of the closest races for Oregon governor in years. The full hour will air tonight at 9 o'clock. And of course, you can also watch the entire debate right now on our KGW YouTube channel, or you can stream it on KGW+.
We are here to support the people of Iran.
We are here to stand up for women, stand up for men, stand up for LGBTQ in Iran. We are here to promote as much as possible the reduction of oppression in Iran.
So if you were in downtown Portland, you may have seen the dozens of protesters who gathered at Pioneer Courthouse Square on Saturday. They were there showing support for people being oppressed in Iran. There have been demonstrations like this one around the world for weeks now, after a 22-year-old woman named Mahsa Amini was arrested for improperly wearing a head covering in Iran. She died while still in police custody there. Now to some new numbers from the Oregon Employment Department for the month of September. It looks like we're close to pre-pandemic levels. The unemployment rate rose slightly last month from 3.7 to 3.8. Now, despite low unemployment in the state, businesses are still struggling to find enough employees. Devin Haskins takes a closer look at what's happening here in the Portland metro area.
Over the last 12 months, economists say more than 67,000 jobs were created in the greater Portland metro area. Looking at this graph, that's the third fastest job growth rate in the United States over the last year. Oregon economist Christian Kaler.
To give you some sense for that, that is more jobs than Salt Lake City, Kansas City, Columbus, Ohio, Milwaukee regions combined.
But despite the job growth, those positions aren't getting filled as quickly as they used to. That's in large part to the lack of employees available. Baby boomers, those in their 60s and 70s, are leaving the workforce faster than those in their 20s are entering it.
As they exit the workforce, they're still consuming, right? They're still buying stuff.
Combine that with younger generations not having as many children as before. So with that gap, businesses need to rethink outside the box and get competitive.
You're going to have to steal people from other industries. You're going to have, right, shamelessly, you're going to have to recruit from other industries. And
Jeff Dietrich is the vice president at Swire Coca-Cola. He says companies need to train to retain.
And what we found was we needed to create a career path for people that came into entry-level positions but wanted to grow and do more, make more money.
We need to lean into that.
Ann Mercereau, vice president of human resources at Portland General Electric, says companies also need to rethink their hiring requirements.
What are the other barriers to entry? And sometimes we can't see them because we're so used to having our certain requirements for a job and not realizing that those requirements are cutting out a certain segment of the population.
But that doesn't fix the labor shortage.
How do you solve it? Robots.
Yep. Automation. And simply have more kids.
So when you have that 50-to-1 kind of imbalance, then nationally, the workforce size has really stopped growing in America.
Yeah, really the best way to fix it, have more kids or turn to automation like you see a lot of grocery stores and restaurants doing already. The Oregon economist says this problem of the labor shortage is not going away anytime soon. I'm Devin Haskins, KGW News.
Okay, coming up in about 12 minutes, the rainy season is back, which means it's time to grab a blanket, maybe find a good book. Do you need a good new page turner? Well, we'll let you know about a used book sale that you really won't want to miss. But first, a haunted house for a good cause. Hear from one Washington family spooking up their home to help people with ALS. That's next.